Okay, now let's get into the fun shit. For those of you who have not been watching this series, go back to the beginning, because you're going to take everything I'm going to say out of context. We're talking about Islam, and we're using Christianity as a reference point for it. There's a little series going on here. Because the general consensus in the U.S. right now is that all Muslims are evil, all Muslims are terrorists. And to all the Bible thumper fanatics in the U.S., I have to say, what the hell happened to judge yes ye be judged? So in tune with that, ye are being judged. And ye are being used as an example of how ye is not so different from what ye hates. We covered women. We covered holy days. We covered legislation so far and practices. Now let's go ahead and get into the fun stuff, like sexuality and marriage. What about the status of sexual minorities? Well, we kind of commented on that a little bit before. There's good Bible-thumping Christians out there who know that it is God's will that homosexuals are evil. Never made any sense to me. I could give a shit what somebody does in their bedroom. I will admit, seeing two guys kiss in public wigs me the fuck out. I think it wigs me the fuck out because I am a visual person. And the moment I see anything, I start processing imagery. And so when I see two guys kissing, I'm like, oh, well, they're gay. And then my mind goes off on this. Images start popping in my head of things I have absolutely zero interest in doing whatsoever. And I think that's the real reason this is a button for a lot of people. They don't want to be uncomfortable. And my personal reaction to that is I just push the thought out of my head. I'm like, oh, that's an interesting image. Deleted. Lesbians, on the other hand, don't really care because it's free porn running around in my head. But it's like, okay, I've gotten enough on a tirade. I'm sorry. There's some people who are diehard Christians who are perfectly okay that there are fags in the world. And good for them. Good for them. Because, it should be pointed out that the Bible just says the acts of homosexuality are sin, but nowhere in there does it say anything about you have to go convert them or any other bullshit. So where do the Muslims stand on this? Well, all you Bible thumpers who are pushing for constitutional bans on gay marriage and everything else, would largely agree with Muslims. For the most part, the Muslim philosophy on this whole topic is as follows. It ranges from an equivalent of don't ask, don't tell, to kill him. Quite a range there. So, yeah. Now, it would not surprise me at all if somewhere in the world there's a Muslim who could give a shit if their brother or son or cousin or strange friend winds up being a fag. Which means, good or bad, right or wrong, that's something else Christians and Muslims have a lot in common on. They both hate fags. But some of them don't. Now let's get into racism. These are the things Americans care about. You know, we have to know what race people are so we know whether or not we're being racist. I've made comments on that before on other channels. What's really funny about this is until 1978, there were Christian churches promoting racism. And this is a concept that is still to this day supported by some form or fashion by Christian identity. And those of you who are going to disagree with me on that, I'm going to explain why. Go to a church, go to any Christian church, and ask this loaded question. What color was Jesus? Enough said. The answer to that question is not based on any historical evidence. It is not based on the region of the world in which Jesus lived, or supposed to have lived. It's based on what the predominant complexion of the churchgoers are. I have no idea why the hell that is. Never made any sense to me whatsoever. As a matter of fact, it's one of the things that made me turn away from Christianity, to be quite honest. I thought the facts were more important than any political correctness. And I was kicked out of some churches for that. So let's look at where the Islam stand on this topic. You know, the good old-fashioned Muslims. How do they feel about racism? It's officially rejected by all Islamic movements. Am I the only one who finds that a bit peculiar? Christian churches were promoting racism until 1978. Half a century has not passed. But all Muslim movements denounce the evils of judging a book by its cover. I wish I could say they had more in common there. But that's one chapter I think Christianity could learn a lot from Islam. Maybe go figure out who Jesus was and fix all the damn crucifix to actually have an image of Jesus up there instead of white Jesus and black Jesus and Asian Jesus and Spanish Jesus. And how about just Jesus? Or have I missed something? Just saying. I should get off of this topic because I'm getting a little preachy here now. And I'm probably tearing people apart more than I'm bringing them together talking on this topic. Suppose what I'm getting onto here now is it'd be a good idea if rather than demonizing each other, people would learn from each other. I'm not saying convert. I'm saying learn.